A consortium led by Elon Musk said on Monday it has offered $97.4 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls OpenAI. It's another attempt by the billionaire to block the artificial intelligence startup from transitioning to a for-profit firm. Musk's bid is likely to ramp up a long-standing feud with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman over the future of the ChatGPT maker. Altman on Monday posted on X, quote, "No thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Musk co-founded OpenAI with Altman in 2015 as a nonprofit, but left before the company took off. He went on to found the competing AI startup xAI in 2023. OpenAI is now trying to transition from a nonprofit into a for-profit entity. It says that restructure is required to raise the funds needed to develop the best AI models. Musk's new offer is only his most recent attempt to throw a wrench in those plans. In August last year, Musk sued Altman and others, claiming they broke contract by putting profit ahead of the public good in the push to advance AI. Then, in November, he tried in court to block OpenAI from converting to a for-profit structure. The consortium led by Musk that is now trying to buy OpenAI's parent nonprofit includes xAI and several investment firms. Were a deal to go through, xAI could merge with OpenAI, according to the Wall Street Journal, which first reported Musk's offer earlier on Monday. Aside from any antitrust implications, a deal of this size would need Musk and his consortium to raise enormous amounts of funding. According to an uninvolved investment banker, in order to finance such a bid, Musk could sell part of his stake in Tesla or take a loan against his stake. He could also put up as collateral his stake in rocket company SpaceX, which is worth tens of billions of dollars.
A U.S. judge kept his block on President Donald Trump's buyout plan for federal employees in place on Monday. He also said he would consider imposing it for a longer period. The decision is a victory for labor unions who have sued to stop the buyout plan entirely. More than 2 million federal civilian employees had faced a midnight deadline to accept the proposal. The buyout effort is part of a far-reaching plan by Trump, who has tasked Tesla CEO Elon Musk, the world's richest person, with overseeing the purge of federal employees through his Department of Government Efficiency, which is not an actual government agency. Musk's actions have sown panic among federal workers and prompted public protests. Unions have urged their members not to accept the buyout offer, saying Trump's administration cannot be trusted to honor it. A White House official said about 65,000 federal employees had signed up for the buyouts as of Friday. The Trump administration faced another setback in federal court Monday as well. A judge ordered it to fully comply with a previous order lifting its broad freeze on federal spending, after a group of 23 Democratic state attorneys general last week said that some funds remained frozen.
Protesters rallied outside the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau on Monday after President Donald Trump's newly installed chief of the agency told all staff to stay away from the office and do no work. That's according to an email reviewed by Reuters sent by Russell Vought, who served in Trump's first administration and took control of the agency's nearly 2,000 employees on Friday. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts spoke at the rally.
No matter how big the scam, no matter how bold the trap, they have said, just stand by and let the Wall Street boys take your money. Well, we are here to fight back. We want our financial cops back on the beat.
Billionaire Elon Musk had vowed to destroy the agency, and his Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, gained full access to CFPB computer systems over the weekend. The CFPB was created as part of the sweeping 2010 Dodd-Frank financial reform law, part of an effort to ensure a sole agency was charged with monitoring the financial well-being of consumers. Russell Vought took control of the CFPB a day after he was confirmed by the Senate to lead the Office of Management and Budget. He is the architect of the right-wing policy manifesto known as Project 2025, which called for abolishing the CFPB. The National Treasury Employees Union, which represents CFPB staff, has filed a federal lawsuit arguing that shutting down the agency violated the Constitution by undercutting Congress's power to set and fund the agency's mission.
U.S. President Donald Trump raised tariffs on imports of steel and aluminum from 10% to a flat 25% on Monday. Trump signed executive orders in the Oval Office that also removed country exceptions, quotas, and many product-specific exclusions.
And today I'm simplifying our tariffs on steel and aluminum so that everyone can understand exactly what it means. It's 25% without exceptions or exemptions, and that's all countries, no matter where it comes from, all countries. If made in the United States, however, United States of America.
A White House official confirmed the measures would take effect on March 4th. Trump later said he would seriously consider exempting Australia from steel tariffs because it has a trade deficit with the US. Monday's proclamations were extensions of tariffs from his first term, targeting steel and aluminum under a Cold War-era national security law. A White House official said exemptions had weakened those measures. Trump will also require imported steel to be melted and poured, and aluminum to be smelted and cast in North America to stop China and Russia from bypassing tariffs. Trump also said he'd announce retaliatory tariffs on countries taxing US goods in the next 2 days, and was considering additional tariffs on cars, chips, and medicines. When asked about potential retaliation from other countries, Trump said, quote, "I don't mind."
Shares in European and Asian steelmakers fell on Monday. It comes after President Trump announced on Sunday that he would introduce 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. And he's promised further announcements on Tuesday and Wednesday of broader reciprocal tariffs to match those of countries importing US goods. The largest sources of US steel imports are thought to be Brazil, Canada and Mexico, followed by South Korea and Vietnam. Meanwhile, Canada accounted for 79% of US primary aluminum imports in the first 11 months of 2024. Some have warned Trump's actions could first of all damage the US economy by increasing the cost of the raw materials it depends on. In South Korea, the industry ministry called in steelmakers to discuss how to minimize the impact of tariffs. Hyundai steel shares dipped as much as 2.9% amid a broader decline among South Korean steelmakers. While European steelmakers, which account for about 15% of imports into the US, also took a hit. The European Commission said it saw no justification for the imposition of tariffs on exports, adding that it will react to protect the interests of European businesses, workers and consumers.
Gucci owner Kering wasn't in fashion with buyers during the fourth quarter. The French luxury group reported a 12% drop in sales from a year earlier Tuesday, dragged down by its flagship Gucci brand. Gucci sales fell just under a quarter as an overhaul failed to win back shoppers. That was worse than analyst projections. The company sacked Gucci designer Sabato De Sarno last week in a move to revive the famous label. Kering tried to turn Gucci around with a new minimalist design approach from De Sarno, but the move was complicated by a global slump in luxury demand. The industry's sales rate is the slowest in years and weighed down by cautious shoppers in China. But investors were happy enough with a positive update Tuesday about Kering's latest Chinese performance. The company pointed to an improvement in the country and the US, which helped send the stock price up 5% before scaling back later. Kering said the company's sales in mainland China and among Chinese shoppers globally rose by a combined 6 percentage points compared with the previous quarter.